Hey everybody, this is Dr. Andrew Hall and Dr. Lisa Hall. We're coming to you today from WellSpine KC. We're going to be talking about ways to fight low back pain at home. Low back pain is something that affects 80% of Americans. In fact, the stats say that 30% of almost all Americans have dealt with some kind of low back issue in the last 90 days. So we're going to give you some simple and easy tips on how to fight that and how to feel better at home when you're dealing with some low back pain. So number one is a great stretch that we give to just about everyone. It's a yoga stretch called cat-cow, and Lisa's going to demonstrate that. So basically you're in hands and knees posture right now, and it's called cat-cow because you want to make what looks like a cat. So you basically arch your back, you bring your head down, you are pushing the buttocks and the pelvis forward, and you get a great stretch right here in the low back. You hold that for a couple seconds, and then you go to what is called cow. So the head comes up, and you're almost just letting your belly button drop down towards the floor. You're pushing the hips back at the same time. This stretches it. So you just go back and forth between these two. You hold it for a couple seconds and then you drop back down. It stretches all of the muscles through here. And frankly, when you're dealing with an issue like low back pain, this feels great. I've done it, Lisa's done it when we're both dealing with some kind of issue with that. There's another exercise that Dr. Lisa is gonna explain to you. It's called the figure 4 exercise.
Yeah, a lot of people have done figure 4, whether they're sitting or laying on their back. I like it in the sitting position because I think you can have a little bit more control in doing it properly. Figure 4, it's just as it sounds. You make a number 4 with your legs, one ankle on the opposite knee. But this is not a time for you to press down on your knee and injure your knee and or hip. So what you're doing is you're resting your hand here kind of as a reminder to leverage a little, but you're bringing your chest up and over to stretch deep in the butt called the piriformis muscle. So nice and low, deep stretch. As you get better at this, you can drop your elbow to your knee, but just remember, you're not leveraging the knee. You're just resting on it to get a nice deep stretch. Of course, do both sides. Third thing we want to recommend you do is go for a walk. We know you're cooped up these days and we need to get outside more often. It doesn't have to be a 30 to 45 minute stroll or run for that matter. 5 or 10 minutes of activity along with the fresh air can be enough to reduce inflammation in your joints, specifically the low back.
So those are some great tips. There's a couple more. We get this question all of the time. Should I be icing? Should I be heating? And all of that depends on, is it an acute issue? Is it a chronic issue? If this is an acute issue, you've been out shoveling, you have been working in the garden, you went to deadlift, and it is happened in the last few days and it's really tight, right now you should be doing nothing. In fact, the research says that within the first 3 days, you need to let your body use the natural inflammatory process to help you heal. After 3 days, you need to do a combination of both. You need to do 10 minutes of ice, because that's going to get rid of that bad inflammation, the stuff that needs to get out. And then you need to do about 5 minutes of heat, because what that's going to do is bring those great red blood cells in and really help you heal. If this is a chronic issue, if you've been dealing with this for weeks or months or years, number one, you need to set up an appointment with us. But number two, you also can do the ice heat combo that I just described. 10 minutes of ice, 5 minutes of heat pretty regularly. That's gonna help with it as well. Final tip that we're gonna leave with you, drink more water. When those muscles are spasmed and they're tight, it is dehydrating the muscle. The more dehydrated a muscle is, the more prone it is to spasming. So drink that extra water. It's gonna make your joints feel better. It'll make your back feel better as well. This has been Dr. Andrew and Lisa Hall. If this has helped you, share it with someone. Give us a like, leave us a comment below if you have any questions. We would love to help out in any ways possible, and we're here for you, Kansas City.